And we're lining up now for the first 250 GP moto of the day, and a horrible moment for number 22, Mark Eastwood, in the mid-pack there. The Wiseco Honda nearly went down. It's number 21, Miska Altonen, leading from Palmo Honda's Pit Byra, number 1 and number 2, the leading men in there, Everts and Marnik Bervoets. But there's been an awful crash off the first jump. Number 3, Talon Voland is involved. Number 10, Pedro Tractor is also down. And here we see the slow-mo. Now watch on the left-hand side, number 3. And Talon Voland is taken out by an inexperienced qualifier, the Belgian Damien Daniel, number 63. And Tortelli is also taken down. Tortelli, number 24, crashes dramatically into the valley. And Tortelli is able to restart through a tremendous amount of applause from the crowd. Terrific din up the valley from those horns as Tortelli restarts absolutely dead last, having survived somehow unscathed. And it's Byra leading. Second place, Stefan Everts. Third place, Marnik Bervoets. And at the front, 2 guys who love this track, and so does this man, Colin Dugmore. Josh Coppins, Alton, number 4, De Maria. Number 22, Eastwood, hasn't survived to make a good start within the top 10. Number 14, the British champion, Rob Herring. And sympathetic applause from a dreadfully wiped out Talon Voland. That's not the sort of comeback he was hoping for. And at the front, yes, it's the immaculate 24-year-old Belgium. And Stefan Everts has taken the lead. 4th place there, Dugmore. 5th place, De Maria. But Everts is at the front. Bervoets desperately hanging on to him. The man who challenged him so hard during the last 2 years and is challenging him again in 1997. Number 11, Peter Ivan. Coppins coming under fire from Eastwood. Eastwood hurtling past, and in fact, Eastwood momentarily getting past Peter Ivan as well. Meantime, back down the field, cheered loudly every time he enters the valley. The amazing 18-year-old Tortelli, here passing Stefanini on his absolutely whipping his way through the pack. But at the front, Everts just beginning to ease out. He's got such delicate throttle control on this slippery chalk. He's beginning to ease a gap on his pursuers, Bervoets and Byra, as they launch themselves up the veranda. Yves De Maria in a good position on his private Honda, lying 4th in the race now. De Maria has lost a round with a broken rib, so he's not in quite the position we expected. Outside the top 10 in the championship, being pursued by the burly Belgian veteran, Peter Ivan. And here's Frederick Bollet, making ground through the field, chasing Mike Brown and Coppins up the veranda, ahead of Jockey Carlson and Scavenels. Cutting inside the New Zealander Coppins on the Suzuki number 23. And there's lots of hot action down the field. Here we have the steepest of the uphills. And Jockey Carlson cutting inside. The British-based Swede on the RWJ Diesels Kawasaki cuts inside. As indeed does Mike Brown here, trying to tackle Leon Giesbers, the Dutchman, on the KTM. Brown, who's had a terrible start to his first Grand Prix season, didn't score for the first 3 Grand Prix. Looking to add to his meagre points tally now, down in 12th in the championship. This man, on the other hand, already with a handsome lead in the series, beginning to open up a gap on this guy, Marnik Bervoets, who finished 2nd overall to him at Foxhill last year. And number 7, a disastrous year here at Foxhill in 1995, but Byra was good the year before, and here's De Maria under pressure now from Peter Ivan. What a contrast in styles. The cool, stylish Frenchman, the burly, brutal Peter Ivan on the Johan Lloyd-tuned Kawasaki, which means it must be one heck of a rocket ship. And Mike Brown now being tackled by the former British 125 champ, Jockey Carlson, and the RWJ Diesel's Honda going for the inside over the hill and making the pass stick. And here's Tortelli getting round Mark Eastwood, who was as far as up as 7th at one point. And that's a remarkable ride from Tortelli. He's creamed his way all the way through the pack. The crowd have been urging him on through the valley every lap. And now he's taken Jockey Carlson, which means he's reached 6th place in the race. What a phenomenal achievement from absolutely dead last after that horrendous early crash. On lap 14, we still have Everts with a comfortable lead. 2nd place, Bervoets. 3rd place, Pit Byra. Number 7 on the Palmo Honda. 5th in the championship in 1995. And Number 20, Scavenol's attacked by Frederick Bolle in the closing stages. We've lost Yves de Maria with ignition failure on the Honda. He loses 4th place. And 11th place for Frederick Bolle, nudging his way past Jamie Scavenol in the closing stages to add a few points to his total. And Stefan Everts takes the win in the first moto.
Yeah, the race went good. My start was top 5, and the first lap I could manage to pass a whole bunch of riders in a difficult downhill. And from there on, I wait for my moment to pass Bayer, and after that I just tried to take the lead and just relax and enjoy my riding.
So Stefan Everts takes the win ahead of Marnique Bervold and Pit Byra, with Sebastian Tortoli an incredible 6th. The field leaves the line again. A very wide start straight into a narrowing downhill right-hander. Initially, Frederick Bolle showing at the front. The dust beginning to rise. Stefan Everts where he wanted to be as they come back through the valley. 2nd place, number 2, Marnique Bervold. He's been in Stefan Everts' wheel track so much. Colin Dugmore, 88. Byra, Tortoli ahead of Carlson. Number 5, Bolle. Number 3, desperately trying to ride despite the injuries sustained in that horrible first race crash. Number 3, Talon Boland. And there is Talon struggling a bit on the Chesterfield Yamaha. A brave man indeed, the 24-year-old American, to come out for this race. Number 88, Colin Dugmore. Dugmore finished a brilliant 5th in the first race on the Saarholz Honda. That's the 28-year-old German-based South African. And Sebastian Tortoli knows that because he didn't quite make it off the start, not quite quick enough, he knows that Stefan Everts is moving away from him. He's got past Dugmore, though. He's got past Colin Dugmore. Oh, and Pit Byra, who's suffering a bit with the stomach cramps in this 2nd race, losing out there to Frederick Bolle. And Byra, in fact, has struggled to stay in the top 10 in this 2nd moto. Not so this guy. 24-year-old Stefan Everts railroading ahead, and Tortoli has reached 3rd place. Tortoli has reached 3rd place. He's now got to make up that ground. Frederick Bolle moving in to attack Colin Dugmore. Bolle, the 23-year-old Frenchman from down in Marseille. Dugmore making his return to the 250 class after a couple of years in the 125 and impressing a lot of people, but losing out in this battle with Frederick Bolle. Bolle snatches 4th place. Colin Dugmore goes back to 5th place. But poor Dugmore is destined to retire at half distance with that bugbear of the Hondas, ignition failure once again, which has already put paid for the 2nd motor in succession to Yves de Maria. Tortelli, however, into 2nd place ahead of Bervold. Urged on by his mentor, 1986 world champion Jackie Vimon at the trackside there. But at the moment, soaring off the downhills. A mega performance from Stefan Everts. Just seemed to be holding a consistent gap of around 10 seconds on Sebastian Tortoli and the JHK Oxbow Kawasaki. And here's Colin Dugmore. He's coming under pressure now from the dashing Swede Jocke Carlson, the RWJ Diesels Honda, the Parmo Honda here of Pit Byra, the leading German rider, struggling to stay within that top 10. And number 14, Rob Herring, the British Open champion on the Tim Brinton Yamaha, whisking inside number 75, Mike Brown. They have a bit of a dice going there for 8th place. Herring ensuring that we'll have another top 10 finisher in these races. Every race this afternoon featuring a top 10 British finisher, which is good news for the crowd. Bervold perhaps comforted himself with the knowledge he left Foxhill leading by 70 points last year and lost the championship. So if he leaves here trailing by only 55 points on Stefan Everts, perhaps it's not so bad. Frederick Bolle, a good 4th place for the guy who had to miss the first 2 rounds of the championship. Everts was recorded his 27th Grand Prix win last week in the Czech Republic, and now he's achieved his 28th. What a remarkable performance for the Belgian.
Well, I saw him coming. He went to second place, and I think the gap was 5-6 seconds. And I just tried to go faster and faster. And after a while, you know, I had a gap from 9 to 10 seconds, so that was for me enough. And I just tried to keep my concentration really high and make no mistakes. And it was an easy win at the end.
Sebastian Tortoli, here he is. Finishes a disappointed second.
De revenir dessus ou de rester au même niveau en
Evans was faster than me, admits the refreshingly honest 18-year-old Frenchman. It was difficult for me to keep the same pace, so I deferred in the end, holding on to second place.
Moins de risques et rester deuxième.
And Marnik Pervolts, the gallant Belgian, second overall for the second year in succession behind Everts at Foxhill.
I think in Foxhill for me it's a really good result, but second heat I had a good start, and normally I should keep going and try to stay with Stefan or Tortelli, but they were every lap a little bit faster than me, and halfway the race I had also a little bit problems with my concentration, and here it's dangerous to crash, so I keep riding smooth and try to take third place.
So Stefan Everts wins Foxhill, wins his 28th Grand Prix, 2 more now than his famous father Harry, and on his way to equal Harry's 4 World Championship titles by the looks of things. But Pervolts and Tortoli won't agree with you on that. Pitmire still holds 4th, Jockey Carlson 5th, and Werner de Witt in 6th place. And Honda at the top of the Manufacturers' Championship. Rejoin us in a few moments for some thrilling 125cc Grand Prix action.